Hello dear students, welcome you all for the 7th session of the 4th chapter Business Taxation 4, that is GST 6th semester Mangalore BCom. So in this session we are going to discuss two illustrations on calculation of aggregate turnover for the purpose of GST registration. So my session will include illustration 1 and illustration 2. So let's straight away discuss the first illustration. This illustration I have taken from Bangalore University BCom 2008. So let's discuss that. Ritu Private Limited is having its manufacturing units at Mangalore and Chennai. It is also has service unit at Mysore. From the following, calculate aggregate turnover of Ritu Private Limited for the year 2017-18. So need not worry about the year. Let's discuss the problem. Sold goods from Mangalore unit to a dealer at Delhi for 25 lakhs. So Ritu Private Limited has sold goods from Mangalore unit to a dealer at Delhi. So now we have to calculate, remember, aggregate turnover for the purpose of registration. So what is the meaning of aggregate turnover? We have already discussed in the previous chapters. Okay, so aggregate turnover means it is a turnover which includes everything. Okay, it includes taxable supply, exempted supply, interstate supply, export supply. Everything is included except GST paid. So whatever the GST paid, we should not take into account. Rest all supplies are included in aggregate turnover. So let's discuss one by one. Then sold goods from Mangalore unit to dealer at Mysore, it is a interstate supply, it is considered. Then supplied goods from Chennai unit to UK, it is a export supply, it is also included. Rendered service from Mysore unit to a person located in Hubli, so it is a service, it's an intrastate, so it is also included. Then Mangalore unit supplied non-taxable goods to Mr. Narayan at Bangalore, so even if it is not taxable also, it should be included in aggregate turnover for the purpose of registration. Then supply goods from Mangalore unit to SEZ, so this is also included in aggregate turnover. Then supply goods from total IGST and CGST paid by Ritu, this should not be included in the aggregate turnover, whatever the GST paid. Then supply goods which are exempt from tax from Chennai unit to a dealer at Darwin, so even exempted supply also included in aggregate turnover. Now let's calculate. So this is the format, computation of aggregate turnover, particulars amount. So let's write one by one. The first one is taxable sales to a dealer at Delhi. So sold goods to dealer at Delhi 25 lakhs. Second one, so sold goods to a dealer at Mysore 5 lakh. Next one, so it's an export supply to UK worth rupees 20 lakh. Next one, rendered service from Mysore into a person located in Hubli, so it is 1 lakh. Next one, Mangalore unit supplies non-taxable goods to Mr. Narayan at Bangalore, so it is supply of non-taxable goods to Mr. Narayan, so it is 2,50,000. Next one, supply goods from Mangalore unit to SEZ located at Delhi for 5 lakh. So supply of goods to SEZ at Delhi 5 lakh. Next one, total IGST and CGST paid by Ritu Private Limited is 3 lakh, so that we have to deduct it. Then supply goods which are exempt from tax from Chennai unit to a dealer at Dharwad 20,000, so let's write this one also, so it is 20,000. So now what we have to do is we have to deduct the taxes paid. So how much is the total IGST paid? That has to be deducted. Total IGST and CGST paid by Ritu. How much? It is 3 lakh. So therefore aggregate turnover is 55 lakh 70,000. So this is the aggregate turnover. So what we can conclude? So if the turnover is exceeding 40 lakhs, then he has to compulsorily get registration. So here Mr. Ritu has to get registered as per the GST Act, since the turnover is more than 40 lakhs. And one more doubt you may have, why we have deducted IGST. As I told in the beginning that IGST should not be included. So what we have done is, there is no information regarding whether IGST and CGST is included in this. So what we have done is, we have assumed that IGST and CGST is included in the above price. So that's why we have deducted. So let's give a note regarding that. So it is assumed that GST paid by Ritu Private Limited is included in the selling price. So that's why we have excluded, because GST paid should not be included in the aggregate turnover while calculating the aggregate turnover. So in total we can conclude that Ritu has to register as per the GST Act because turnover is exceeding 40 lakhs. Now let's go to the next problem. Anusha, a small manufacturer in Sringeri, furnishes the following details for the year 2019-20. Manufactured and supplied pan masala 19 lakh. Produced and supplied commodity P for 17 lakh. Both these transactions are included in aggregate turnover. Then manufactured and supplied product Q, this is also included. Supplied commodity R, this is also included. Produced and supplied agricultural crops worth rupees 13 lakh. So this is also included. Then sold arachnet for rupees 8 lakh, which is grown in the premises of the factory. This is also included even though it is agricultural product. Then received rent from the building rupees 1,40,000. So rent received from the building 1,40,000, even though it is coming under income tax. Here it is treated as rent received from the commercial building. It should be included in the aggregate turnover because there is a GST on rent received. 18% has to be paid. So therefore it should be included in the aggregate turnover. She has given a car on fire 3,50,000. This also should be included in the aggregate turnover. Then supplied homemade snacks. This also should be included. The turnover from canteen in factory premises, this is also should be included. So Miss Anusha paid input tax on her purchase of raw materials from intra and interstate. She has not collected GST from her customers. Compute aggregate turnover. Is she eligible for composition levy? So this is the information we have to collect. So first of all, let us calculate the aggregate turnover first, and then we will see whether she is eligible for composition levy or not. Let's calculate. So computation of aggregate turnover, particulars, amount. Let's write the first one. What's the first one? Manufactured and supplied pan masala. Then second one is produced and supplied commodity. Then manufactured, supplied and product Q. So let's write all three. So 19 lakh, 17 lakh, 24 lakh. Let's go to the fourth one. That is supplied commodity R, then produced and supplied agriculture crops worth rupees 13 lakh, then sold arachnet 8 lakh, which is grown in the premises of the factory. Let's write all these three items. So 20 lakh, 13 lakh, 8 lakh. Let's go to the next one. Received rent from building 1,40,000. She has given a car on fire 3,50,000. Supplied homemade snacks 19 lakh. All three items should be included in the aggregate turnover. Let's write. So 1,40,000, 3,50,000 and 19 lakhs. Let's go to the problem once again. Last one is turnover from canteen in factory premises 25 lakhs. Let's write that also. So aggregate turnover is 1 crore 49 lakh 90,000 is the total aggregate turnover. Now what is the questions? What are the questions asked? Ms. Anusha paid input tax on her purchase of raw materials from intra and interstate. So she is eligible to receive the intra input tax credit. She has not collected GST from the customers. So she is eligible to collect the GST from the customers. Compute aggregate turnover, we have computed. Is she eligible for composition levy? Now the question is to calculate the aggregate turnover, we have calculated, and whether she is eligible. Now what is the total turnover? Turnover is 1 crore 49 lakh 90,000. So for opting composition scheme, your turnover should be below 1.5 crore. Now Miss Anusha has turnover of 1 crore 49 lakh 90,000. That means she is eligible for registering under composition scheme. So definitely we will write that in the next slide. But there is another, we have to see the items also, whether she is producing any items which are not eligible. See here, manufactured and supplied pan masala. So if you are supplying pan masala, we have seen in the composition levy scheme, if anybody is supplying pan masala petroleum, so that person is not eligible to register under composition scheme. So since Ms. Anusha is manufacturing and also supplying pan masala, then definitely she is not eligible even though her turnover is less than 1.5 crores. So let's write here itself. So since Ms. Anusha is a manufacturer and supplier of pan masala, she is eligible for composition scheme even though her turnover is less than 1.5 crores. So that's all from this video. Thank you for watching this video.